The Hills is back after 10 years. You're not going to want to miss this. We have Justin, Bobby, and Audrina already on a date. Mischa Barton is on the show now. It's 2019, and The Hills is back on television. Stick around.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, everyone, to The Hills After Show. I'm your host, Lauren Pacheco, and we have so much to talk about tonight. The Hills is back after 10 years. We want to know what everyone has been doing, and we found out. Justin, Bobby, and Audrina are already on a date. Brandon Lee, Pamela Anderson, and Tommy Lee's son is now on the show. This is insane. But first, before we get into all of this, I want to introduce my lovely co-host. Next to me, I have Rivette. She is a huge Hills fan. Number one, Lauren Conrad. She says her whole childhood was the show. So happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I love the Hills. This is like reliving my whole high school, middle school experience. I'm really excited.
Me as well. And next we have Eric, who is a huge reality junkie. So welcome, Eric, to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. This is my AfterBuzz debut, and I'm looking forward to it.
We are excited for that. Okay. And then we have Jennifer Lopez. I have to say your last name, girl. Come on now. She says she is here all for Audrina and Justin Bobby, but honestly, who isn't?
Who isn't here for Audrina or Justin? It's Justina together. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, she's already shipping them. This is amazing.
I love it.
All right, guys, we have so much to talk about tonight. We want to first begin where the show left off 10 years ago. People have changed. There's a lot of children now. Everyone's kind of married, so we'll get into that. Justin, Bobby, and Audrina already went on a date. We have new cast members we want to get into. And then we have a special segment game that we're going to play later on called Forgive and Forget, so we'll get into that. And then Eric has some news for us. And it has to do with Paris and Nikki Hilton. So you're going to want to stick around for that. But first, let's get into where we left off 10 years ago. The end of the show was very weird because they ended it with Kristen Cavallari getting into a car saying bye to Brody Jenner. She was going to move to Europe, and Brody was sad about it. And then the camera pans out, and it's all fake.
The backdrop slides away.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're in a movie lot filming the last scene. So, I mean, what's your feeling on that? What was that?
That was one of the moments where, you know, when somebody big dies and you remember where you were and when it happened?
Yes.
That was that moment for me where I was at my house. My parents were like, what are you watching? Why are you watching these, like, weird people? And then the backdrop goes up, and I'm freaking out, like, what the hell's going on? I couldn't talk to anybody about it. I'm still traumatized by it, and I need answers.
I understand. What about you guys?
And you know, it took a couple of years for the cast to come out and kind of explain the ins and outs of what was happening behind the scenes.
Right.
And a few of them, and some of the vets, they did say that it was heavily produced. But tonight, it felt pretty real to me. So
I agree.
You know.
I agree. And actually, Ashley Waller, who was not on this episode, she's Jason Waller's wife, said on an interview on KTLA that she said the show back then was more scripted, but this season is very real and very raw. So I was excited to hear that because of the way the show ended. It was like, was this reality at all?
Right. And also a couple of years after that, they showed another alternative ending with Lauren being in Brody's apartment and saying it's always hard to say goodbye. So when I saw that, I was very confused. I was like, wait, what is going on? So did I wasted 5 years of my life watching this? I was like, no! Believing all these stories, but who knows? We will. I don't know if we will ever know. I mean, I know that Cass has come up and said stuff, but I don't know. Like, we don't know whether that's true or not. We're just always going to be lingering around with that.
They always leave us on a good cliffhanger.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people came back, which is surprising. I think the only people that didn't come back were Lauren and Kristen, really. I mean, Lo Bosworth, but come on.
Yeah.
And then, so, I mean, who do you guys think really has changed the most, or are you excited to see back?
For me, I wasn't noticing the change as much, besides from them having kids and a few of them getting married. Constant that I saw was the alcohol. And have you guys noticed that, like, people entering their 30s, they'll like use wine or they escape from hard liquor as like a scapegoat. Like they're really adulting now. So Audrina's like, "Can I have my Pinot Grigio, please?" And you know she's just gonna down it. So that was something I noticed.
It's that mom juice.
Yeah.
They're all on it.
Yeah, totally. So for me,
That's
that's something I noticed that hadn't changed. Also, something that I wanted to point out that had changed from where we left off is the way MTV is editing their reality shows. If you notice, I don't know if you guys watch Siesta Key.
No.
But like the way that Heidi was like in the bathtub and then Spencer like hairspraying himself. I don't know. It's just.
So this is like an MTV trend for shows, kind of.
Yeah, that's how.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
'Cause
like.
I was like, is this only the Hills thing? I don't know if I liked it that much, honestly.
Yeah, it felt sort of overproduced with like the dramatic walking into the nightclub or like pouring the champagne while Heidi's in the bathtub.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
didn't need all that. Like I just wanted to get to the action. Like let's just talk and let's argue with each other. I don't need all these like dramatic entrances and hummingbirds.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lot, and all the LA songs it was like we're in LA, like all these weird like LA songs. It was different to say the least.
Yeah.
I think what they were also trying to do was, we're looking at them, I guess they're adults now. They're more mature than they were in their 20s. So they don't want to show, those Beverly Hills shops and Melrose shops that they used to show back in the days in the hills. So now they want to, I guess, show them more mature. But it was a little dramatic, like the champagne and them in the bathtub, Heidi. I don't know what was going on. But I feel that they just wanted to really show, like, they're more mature. Like.
Well, and reality shows are so much different than they were the first time The Hills was on. The Hills was
Totally.
one of the first reality shows I ever watched. So
Definitely.
watching it back this week, I was laughing at how slow it was going. Because I feel like now reality shows, that's like half of television, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so they kind of started it. And so the way that it was set up this time, I feel like they're really just trying to like keep up with how reality shows are now
Yeah, you could
compared to
definitely-
what they were.
Yeah, you could definitely sense the shift in
Yeah.
production.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely. All right, so let's get into Justin, Bobby, and Audrina. In the first episode, something has already started. I mean, I don't know how to feel about this.
Is her divorce final yet?
I know,
Do we
right?
know that?
I'm not sure.
Meh.
I mean, it's fine, do you, but I'm just wondering, just for my own. I don't know, they just sort of like jumped back into each other's arms, like, and Justin wasn't really saying much during that date.
No.
And it was just Audrina, like, asking questions, and Justin Bobby, he never gives a straight answer. Like, he was just, like, going in circles, and it just, I feel like he's the least changed. I mean, he's great. He looks amazing. But just the way he was, I think he sort of, like, strings her along a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
And it's, like, still happening, like, 10 years later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like their date went really well, and you can definitely sense their chemistry. But my question is, did they hang out after that date?
I know. That was like
You
kind of, he didn't answer it really.
Yeah.
So. there
I
might
mean,
have
I
been something.
think they've always had that chemistry of, when we saw it on the Hills, we saw that he had really big commitment issues. He would come into her life, disappear for the next, 6-7 months, come back again, and, it was back and forth. So we definitely see that. But now, I don't know. I feel like I'm hoping, because I'm a really big fan of them, I'm hoping they really do stay together, because they just make a cute couple, and they have that heavy chemistry. You can see it. They picked it up right away. They didn't even have to say much to each other to start the conversation, and it was already there.
And
Yeah,
what
totally.
did he say? He said, like, oh, we've done things that,
That-
was
Yeah.
that like a sexual
Yes,
Because
yes,
I was like,
that's
what
what
have
I
they done? I need to know.
That's what I was thinking wait, is he talking about like a sexual thing
I
or
think
like,
so.
you know?
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they wanted us to think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
thought it. So
Yes, we did.
good job. No, I mean I don't know how I feel about Justin, Bobby, and Audrina. I love if they actually were to get together and be great for each other, but Justin Bobby was not good for her at the beginning,
No.
and he was so mean about. Then after they broke up, apparently they weren't ever really together. After 4 years, he went around saying they never even dated. I was like,
Yeah.
poor Audrina, you've invested all of this time into Justin Bobby.
Yeah.
Well, you know, guys grow up, so let's give him a chance here.
He
All right?
mentioned having kids and getting married, which just
Exactly.
blew me away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like definitely for sure he's probably mature a little bit more than the other guys on the show. So
Right.
we're
Yes.
hoping to see, and he was very open with talking to Audrina, even though she has a kid and she has all that,
That's true.
baggage going on with her divorce, and he's, he did keep in touch with her. He did call her up when he found out she was going
Yeah,
through all that
he was
drama,
checking in on her.
Yeah, he was definitely checking up on her, and for someone that is always coming in and out of your life, that's, I don't know. I feel that's.
I love how much you love that.
J-Lo is rooting for them.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, we need to get into Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee. Who
Pamela Anderson's son? Who Pamela Anderson has already now made a cameo on the show in the
Yes.
first episode.
I was hoping she'd just like hop out of her car and do her like slow
I know, right?
Baywatch,
Classic Baywatch.
And the dad's Tommy Lee,
Yeah.
which I knew they had a kid, but I didn't realize this was him going to be on the
I
show.
did not either.
Yeah.
That was great. And then also Mischa Barton has joined the show, which I was a huge fan of the OC. I mean, the OC as well as the Hills. They were kind of on at the same time. And the fact that she is on the show now and has made the transition from actress to reality show actress. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, there's been this buzz about why is she on this show? People aren't understanding, and
Right.
for me, I respond and I say, well, she's the OG of the OC. Like she started
It's true.
this California girl like living the dream. So
Yeah.
I think she fits in great so far.
Yeah.
I think that she's also probably in the show or using the show to kind of put herself out there a little bit more. She, moved for so many years out of LA, and she really wants to come back and really, use this time to really make something of her life and her career and really make a comeback. And I think, yes, maybe a reality TV show might not be a good way at the beginning, but I don't know. I'm all for it. I mean, whatever you need to do to get it going. I'm hoping she doesn't do nothing crazy to ruin that, but I think she's really using this platform to really get her career going. And
Yeah.
I'm actually very excited to see her. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I was skeptical at first, but sort of seeing her and knowing that she's friends with Stephanie and, Brody is friends with Brandon, like there's history there. And, I like that in the first episode, we saw Mischa, open up about like why she moved out of LA and her sort of relationship troubles and then the drama with Press Hilton. So I am excited to see more of her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And then I wanted to touch on a little bit about Stephanie Pratt moving back from Europe, looking a bit different, but looking amazing.
Yeah, she looks
definitely.
good.
And kind
She
of
does look
what I feel like she might be the one to bring the drama 1st.
Yeah, and I think her main storyline obviously is going to be the rift between her brother Spencer and her. So
Yes.
We'll see where that goes. I don't think it's going to end well, but
Right.
I feel like she's ready for the drama. I know in a recent interview, Brandon Lee said that Stephanie was actually the first one of the characters that was not very so welcoming to him, and she was very mean on the first day of shooting. So
to Brandon?
to
Interesting.
Stephanie.
Oh, to
Stephanie. Sorry, Stephanie was mean to Brandon.
Okay.
Which was. Kind of like, where did you get this little badass attitude kind of
Yeah.
deal? She was always very timid, but then we also got to remember.
But she liked the drama.
She loved
She
the
would
drama.
stir it up and then be like, "What, me?"
Yeah, exactly. And we also have to remember, Brody would always bring her down. So I don't know, throughout the years of her leaving LA and living in London, she got that tough skin and was like, okay, I'm ready to come back on the show, but now I'm ready to like speak up and say what's on my mind. So
right,
yeah.
Definitely.
I don't understand Stephanie. I don't really know what her intentions are.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't either.
And according to what Heidi's saying, I mean, I don't know who's more credible, but Heidi's saying, you know, she'll be fine with us. And even Spencer, I think, said she'll be fine. And then all of a sudden there's like tabloid interviews in London with her saying all these things. And it's like, that's your family. Like, if that's actually true. I mean, they showed the headlines, so I don't know. But she's definitely here for the drama.
I was actually very surprised that Spencer wanted to attend the party and actually try to kind of make peace and not have no more drama not going to the party, because I know Heidi was very hesitant to not going to that party. She was like, I don't want to deal with her. I don't want to, you know, she said so many nasty stuff about us, and she was just very, very hesitant about it. So I was really surprised.
Yeah, and like Spencer said, either way there's going to be drama. If I don't go, there's going to be drama, and if I do go, there will probably be less drama.
Right.
But at least him going, it seems like he wants to squash the drama.
Yes.
So
For sure.
Yeah,
maybe.
for now. For now.
Yeah. All right. So Jennifer has top 3 moments of the first go around of the Hills for us.
Yes. Hey guys. So these are going to be our top most memorable Hills moments. So for our number 1, it's going to be Lauren not going to Paris in the summer to spend it with Jason Waller. So that was one of the top moments. That was, even Lisa Love from Team Vogue, her boss told her, you're always going to be the girl known to not go to Paris because of your boyfriend. So
she got a lot of stuff for that.
She did. Our second top 3 moments are Justin Bobby leaving Audrina. I know, this sucks to say for me because I'm rooting for them. But Justin Bobby leaving Audrina at the beach, you know, and Lauren Conrad, you know, trying to tell Audrina that it's gonna be okay, and that homeboy wore combat boots to the beach. So that was
classic.
That was classic, yes. And for the last top 3 is Lauren yelling at Heidi at a club, telling her, you know what you did, which amplifying she made up that rumor of Lauren having a sex tape with Jason Waller. So that was very you know, that was really sad because they had a really strong friendship at the very beginning, from Laguna Beach all the way to the Hills. So it was really sad to see that, and the fact that I felt like maybe Heidi knew about this and she just was not budging in or even apologizing at the moment. And, you know, even if it was your boyfriend that started, even if it wasn't you, it was really sad to see that friendship go away and break off.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to play our little special segment game. Jennifer, if you want to explain it a little bit, and then we'll play.
Hey, guys. So our special segment is Forgive and Forget. And this is where we go around and we say who we forgive and forget on this tonight's episode, or anybody on the past episodes of The Hills. So I'm going to start off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel that I'm going to probably forget for right now Brody. I don't really like him, his party mode, like his party ways right now, and he's married and just putting his wife on the side and just talking to her the way he was in the episode. I didn't really like that. I was expecting a little bit more from him, a little bit more maturity from him, because he's always talking very well about her in interviews, and I was really bummed that he was treating her and just telling her like, hey, I want to live for me, I don't have to live for anybody else, and just kind of pushing that stuff like, you're married, you're 30, you're more than 30 years old. So.
He's like 35, I think.
Yeah. I think it's ready for you to grow up.
Yeah, I mean, and he did say that he thinks maybe she married him to control him and try and change that. So I think it'll be interesting to see that play out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
that's a terrible reason.
What about you, Rebecca? What do you think?
For forgive or forget?
Either.
Did you do both?
I did forget.
Are we doing both? Or?
You can do both.
Yeah, let's do both. Let's do
I'm
both.
like, I have both. I thought we were doing both. I actually want to forgive Brody because I don't like his comments, but I'm saying, you know, he's newly married. He's still sort of transitioning. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't love what he was saying to Caitlyn or anything like that, but I think he's still learning. So I'm going to forgive him. this episode, I kind of want to forget Stephanie because I think she's up to no good.
All
I'm
right.
gonna have to agree with you on that one. All right, I am going to forgive Spencer for the way that he acted on the first Hills go around because he seems like a nice family guy now. He's got, Heidi and the baby and his hummingbirds. He's doing well. I am Team Spencer because I follow him on Snapchat and I just love him. And then I want to forget Lauren Conrad. I'm so sorry.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, I'm even
Why?
hurt.
I teared up a little bit.
I want to say she left the Hills like in the middle of it before it even ended, and she was a little too controlling for my liking. And she was judgy to her friends. I didn't like the way she was always judging Audrina and, trying to control her and tell her who to date. And she kind of did that with Heidi, too, which is what ruined their friendship, kind of.
Yeah.
But then Spencer went and told the bad rumor about. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I get 100% what you're saying. I just think in her mind, she really just wanted her friends to avoid all that boy drama. Granted, Heidi and Spencer, Spidey, are still together, going strong, thank God.
I know.
So, she was wrong, but I
Right.
get where she was coming from. It's just a lot. I could talk about this for 3 hours.
I know. We'll talk about it after.
Okay, good.
An after show.
All right, so for me, I also want to forgive Spencer. Originally, I thought he was a total tool,
Right.
but I kind of learned that he became iconic for being that tool. So just seeing him tonight, he hasn't changed that much, and I think it's awesome. And then I want to forget already Brandon Lee. Because I think he's the youngest, right?
Yes.
So I feel like he seems like a tool, and I think there can only be one tool, and that's Spencer. So.
Oh, wow. I did not get that from Brandon Lee at all.
Really?
Yeah,
No. It'll come out. Wait, just wait.
I mean, I didn't not get it from him, but he's young and lives in LA, so
Yeah.
That's true.
a
That's true.
young man and your parents are
Exactly.
him and
Yeah.
Tommy Lee.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, so let's get into the news.
All right, let's do it. So the premiere party for The Hills was last week, and Kathy Hilton was there, and I was like, why is Kathy Hilton there? Supposedly she's friends with Stephanie Pratt. I think there's a bit of an age gap there, but they're friends.
Interesting.
And she told Us Weekly that Paris and Nikki were asked to join the reboot of The Hills, and her response was, in quote, they were asked, but they're busy with so many things right now. So what do you guys think about if they had come back? Well, first of all, I don't think they would even do it. I think, they're running so many empires with, their makeup and their perfumes and their clothing lines and all that. And I also think, well, I know that Paris has come to many news outlets and she's said she's done with reality TV and she doesn't want to tarnish what she did with Simple Life, right?
Yeah, because they were amazing.
Yeah. So what do you guys think if they were to have come back? If they were to have come back, how do you think the show would have been different?
You know what? I think Paris and Nikki Hilton are, they are stars in their own right. I don't think this is their lane. I think they're a little bit above this.
I agree.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to be the one to say it, so I'm glad you took that from me.
I think they are, and I mean, Paris Hilton. I think it would just turn into the Paris Hilton show. If I'm watching Paris,
right.
I don't care about anybody else.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope they make some sort of appearance, though. That would be cool.
They might.
I mean, I think they're friends with Stephanie Pratt, right?
I don't know.
I saw some Instagram photos
fun.
where they were together.
Oh, yeah,
so.
I'm sure all those families collide in some way.
Yeah.
Right.
I personally think different. I think Paris would be all for it. I think that she would definitely use this platform to her advantage, especially because this is such a high anticipating show. And I think she would want to look for anything where she can get on and maybe show her brand and whatever stuff she has going on in her life. So I think she would definitely be on it. But of course, you know, they have so many things going on.
Right.
Nikki, I know for sure, would be very reserved. She's always been like the party girl, but she's always been party girl / reserved too. So
Right. All right. Tonight's show was a little slow, but it was introducing everyone back, kind of updating us on what happened in their life for the past 10 years. So, I mean, it's understandable that it was slow.
Yeah.
But what are our predictions for next
Your
week?
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So much. I
man.
think we're gonna get a Stephanie versus Spencer showdown next week. Because at the party, like, something has to happen. They've been talking about this dang party for Stephanie for the whole episode, and I thought we were going to see it this week, but it's definitely going to happen next week. I think everything is going to go downhill from there. And I think it's going to eventually be a little bit of, like, Stephanie versus everybody. I think she's going to be, like, the villain of the season.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
I could see that.
I
Yeah.
see that as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my
I can see
main
it too.
My prediction is that the Audrina and Justin Bobby love thing that they're doing is going to continue to tease us, and I think it's just going to kind of take us through the season with us not knowing what's going on with them. So
Right. Yeah.
I think a lot of us are going to be like, come on, give us something, you know?
Definitely.
But, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think my prediction is that this party as well is going to cause drama for Brody and his wife, Caitlin, for sure. We saw in the episode that she has a problem with him going out and staying up late, even though he is a DJ. But just the fact that he wants to do it whenever he wants and nobody telling him what to do already kind of sparked that problem. I feel like this party is going to be one of those things that's going to, you know, because he might want to stay later with the boys
Oh yeah.
and, you know, maybe want to catch up with everybody, and she's probably going to be like, okay, let's go home. And I don't know. I feel like that this party is definitely going to be a lot of drama for sure.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Mischa, Barton, and Perez Hilton
Oh yeah.
encounter.
Showdown.
So my prediction is it's not going to go well.
We can all agree on that.
Right?
Yeah.
Or who knows? Maybe Perez maybe changed, and maybe he will give her that apology that she's been wanting as well too.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, and I think what you were saying earlier, I think Mischa is using this kind of as a platform to tell her story, her truth. So, you know, she had a rough few years, and I think she could definitely use this show as a way to explain, you know?
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Well, I'm excited, and we're excited for you to join us. And if you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to give us a comment, give us a like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we post. We will be here every single week. If you're listening on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, and please don't forget to comment down below. Being on AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we want to thank you for allowing us to be the ESPN of TV talk.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in. We will be here at the same time next week. Where can we find you guys in the meantime, though?
You can find me at, I'm so sorry.
That's okay, go ahead. That's all
You
right.
can find me at Rivette Sorrel on all social media platforms.
I'm as well on everything. I'm at Eric Sinsley.
And you guys can find me at Jen_Lopez_89.
And you can find me at Lauren T. Pacheco on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks, everybody, for watching. The Hills are officially back.
Woo!
We're back.
And we're here for it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.